So this is Nick Williams, still here with John Williams. Interesting, we've both got the same name, we're both the Williams and we both live in Finchley, but we're not related. John is the author of a brand new book called Screw Work, Let's Play, How to Do What You Love and Get Paid For It, which is obviously a fantastic title for a book, lovely ideas. So what we're going to talk about for a minute is, say somebody's only ever been employed, they've only ever got paid to do work that they don't particularly enjoy, that if they weren't being paid for it they'd probably not choose to do that work. You're sowing the idea of being able to get paid to play and do stuff you love. But for so many people that just feels like so far away from where they are. How, do you find a lot of people go into overwhelm, and if they go into overwhelm, how do you help them start making that progression?
Yeah, definitely. I meet people over and over again in workshops where they're thinking like an employee and they're looking for something they can jump to straight away. And the fact is, this book really is about doing something out of the ordinary. It's not about just looking for another role. Now, you might still end up in a job, but you're going to create it from scratch, ideally, because that's what I'm recommending. Or you find some way to get paid in a self-employed way. So how do you start that? You need to give it this idea that there's a thing there, you just go and you'll jump and you're selling it full time. You're probably going to have to grow it. And what I say over and over again in the book and explain how to do is just get started and play it out. And get away from this idea that you have to know what you're doing, because everyone thinks, when you change jobs, you study the job and then you jump and you go, okay, this is the right job and I'll take it. It doesn't work like that when you start getting paid to play. You have to start doing stuff, work out how to get paid for it and grow it, and you might need to start that in your spare time. So what I get people to do is just start something that is in that sweet spot of things they love doing, that they know could be useful to other people, because that's the key to getting paid. And grow it in your spare time. So you have a play project, as I call it, which might only last 4 weeks.
So are you an advocate of what I call the baby steps approach to doing things?
I think so, yeah. Most people, it's all very well to make grand goals and jump. The problem is that keeps a lot of people stuck. The idea that you need to know exactly what you're doing and you have a plan to get there, and you quit and you get funding maybe for a business and all sorts of complicated things. And the examples I quote are people like a woman you probably never heard of called Melissa Pierce in America, and she decided she wanted to make a film called Life in Perpetual Beta, because she found that technology was allowing people to live less planned lives in the way that I'm talking about. And she proved it by making a film without knowing anything about filmmaking. She started interviewing the best thinkers in the world on this subject, Seth Godin, Dan Pink, which people in my field will know, very experts. They're the experts. And when she started, she didn't even know, she would shake the camera up and down as she nodded when she interviewed people. And now she's created a film, she's got some sort of distribution at festivals, she's been invited to give talks, she's created a great thing, she released it on her website in advance. You can fund it. She funded it over Twitter. She played it out, and of course that's resulted in her having a project that is now finished, which she could have thought about creating a film for years and never done anything. So that's the kind of example I like to draw on.
Yeah, as you're talking, I'm thinking of this idea that I meet so many people that are saying, give me a break, give me a break. And actually, we need to create our own breaks and create our own opportunities. Is that really
people are looking for that employee thinking is, let's look for a role for me to fill. Somebody emailed me yesterday, a one-line email going, are there any vacancies at your organisation? And I went, that's such employee thinking. First of all, there is no organisation. There's me and a loose group of collaborators. But you've missed the whole point there.
They should be coming to you saying, I'm brilliant at doing this.
I've got a great idea.
That you could do this. I can do this for you and help you. So are you an advocate of transitions then? That seems to be what you're saying, is that for most people it's not going to be a big leap, you're not going to quit as an employee and become a full-time entrepreneur. Are you an advocate of, I don't know if do you know Emma Jones?
Yes, yes.
For those of you that don't know, Emma Jones founded something called Enterprise Nation, and we put on a talk for her recently, and she's written a book called Working 5 to 9.
That's right, I love that title.
And she reckons that there are already 5 million people in the country, in the UK, who work 5 to 9 in their own business. They already have a part-time business, so they have a full-time job, they go home, and at evenings and weekends they're running their own business already. Some only want it to be part-time, some would love to grow it into a full-time business. Would you be an advocate of that?
Absolutely, and I think that's the little secret that's kind of under the radar. And I know Emma because I was featured in her first book, and I think it's a great example of one way of starting your play project that grows into a living.
Yeah.
And it's a better way to do it in most cases, because even if you have a great idea for a business, in actual fact when you launch it, everyone goes, yeah, but we don't really want it like that. Can you deliver it like this? And can you make it a different price and make it for these people? And these people you're trying to approach when interested, it's these people who really need you. So all your branding and your grand plans usually don't work anyway. No,
because you're going to have to course adjust, so why not start small, get small successes, have small failures, and course adjust as you go, because my experience is that all of us are constantly course adjusting.
Even writing a book, you and I have written, well, I've written one, you've written loads of them. You find a lot of people will write their perfect book. They go, I can't tell you what it is. I'm writing a book, they get it perfectly finished, and they hand it to a publisher goes, I don't really like it. Whereas if you've gone to a publisher and sold it to start with, and said, here's the idea and a kind of outline, then they go, that's great, but just call it this and angle it this way and do it that, and you've got a deal.
I think the challenge, as you're speaking, I'm wondering, for many people, is it the fear of putting their idea out into the real world to get real world feedback?
It is for some
people. They're frightened of being devastated that people don't like it or it doesn't quite work.
Which is why I've got a whole chapter on how you deal with what I call the top dog. It's a Gestalt psychology term, but other people will refer to it as the inner critic, because that's the thing that's really scaring you. It's not that what people say. It's when they say something that you tell yourself in your darkest moments, then that really does hit it.
So we're afraid of people out there, but really we're only afraid because we're already saying it to ourselves.
If they tell you something you know isn't true, you just go, what?
Great. So thank you very much. So, John Williams, Screwwork Let's Play, how to get paid for doing what you love. Thank you for your time, and good luck with everything. Thanks for watching, hope you found it useful.